When it comes to creating a good first encounter, be it in life or work, dressing to impress is most definitely a thing. It's why so many of us will spend ages picking out the right outfit for the right occasion. Side note, apparently shorts at a wedding is not okay. Who knew? And when you apply this to the world of video games, it's clear that character designers also kind of follow this principle, creating heroes in gleaming armor, covering them head to toe in protective gear, or just making sure that their outfit reflects their core ideals. However, not all costumes are created equal, and there are some that are quite frankly a bit of an eyesore, and the 10 entries on this list are just such examples, being fashion faux pas that neither aid nor even protect our heroes. You wouldn't be caught dead in any of these, and for our protagonists, they may well end up dead thanks to these outfits attracting all the wrong attention. So buckle in, strap on those ludicrous amounts of belts, and pop on a dominatrix mask just for good measure. Because I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 video game costumes the fashion police would arrest you for. Number 10. Sailor Chris Redfield, Resident Evil Revelations. Resident Evil Revelations was a surprise hit on the Nintendo 3DS when it dropped way back way, and I say surprise in a twofold manner. The first because it was genuinely not expected to be as engaging as it turned out to be, and secondly because, well, it gave us the Sailor Chris skin. Now, I've got nothing against the Navy, nor Chris's choice to wear such an outfit because you know what, he has got the body, so why not flaunt it? My issue stems from the fact that he looks like he's borrowed it from Sherry Birkin's wardrobe due to its ill-fitting nature. You're almost popping a barnacle there, mate, with those shorts. What makes this skin utterly hilarious is that Chris up until this point was a balls-to-the-walls action man who doesn't take any guff whatsoever. But here, well, it's refreshing to see him lighten up a little. Unlocking the skin also blew its audience away because they would literally need to inflict over 100,000 points of damage to a single enemy, something that could only be really achieved with the rocket launcher. Number 9. Ninja Mime, Mortal Kombat 11. They say that silence is deadly, but in truth, when it comes to Johnny Cage, silence isn't something that he does very well. This mouthy movie star with a penchant for punching plums has been a mainstay for the Mortal Kombat series ever since its inception, and though the years have certainly aged him, he still hasn't managed to tame that tongue of his. Which makes it all the more humorous to see that in the canon, spelt with a K I imagine, of the MK universe, he starred in a film where he's played a murderous mime, and that you can unlock this costume for him to wear in a few of the Mortal Kombat games. And with these special skins comes so many reasons for the fashion police to come a-calling. The MK11 variant, for example, is disgusting in its use of horizontal stripes over the traditional ninja garb, and that beret makes him look even more pretentious. But the worst thing about it all, he doesn't even shut up, rendering the mime part of this costume absolutely moot. Number 8. The Frog Suit, Haunting Ground. Across their tenure, Capcom have really dialed in on being the masters of Western horror games. So much so that at one point they were experimenting with a few different takes on the genre, which unfortunately for many slipped through the cracks. Haunting Ground is effectively a love letter to the all-time classic Clock Tower franchise, and it's a title that exploits tension by making protagonist Fiona feel as powerless as possible against the many creepy residents of the castle in which she wakes up. However, the level of tight suspense is rather undone quite a lot when you realise that you can dress Fiona up as a frog. We're not entirely sure why this would help in a situation where going unseen is paramount, but here we are, channeling our inner Slippy Toad. Now, to be honest, the suit does actually provide some benefits, letting Fiona run without losing stamina, and when she crouches, she does so like a frog. And it's certainly less saucy than the dominatrix outfit you can make her wear, so yeah, maybe just stick to this one. Number 7. Food tie-in gear in various games. Is there anything more shameless than plugging a fast food outlet in a video game? Well, yes, the microtransactions being added in after the review period on Activision games definitely take the cake there, but these are a close second, especially when the offending item makes you look completely ridiculous. You could dress up as Colonel Sanders in Phantasy Star Portable 2, or even wield a Pizza Hut-themed weapon in Portable 1, complete with a rather crusty armor. And even don a laughable noodle cap in Final Fantasy 15. Now, while I'm all for companies thinking outside the box when it comes to marketing, all of these examples and many more serve to make the player and their chosen avatar a bit of a punchline. Now, how the hell was I meant to take the weight of Final Fantasy 15's narrative seriously when Noctis is running around with a giant noodle pot on his head? I mean, the detail on the lid flapping was a good one, but come on! Chill with a bit more subtlety. Number 6. Quiet's Gold Skin, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. When Metal Gear Solid 5 was announced and the world was introduced to the character of Quiet, a lot of questions and eyebrows were raised, especially when Hideo Kojima promised us that there was a really super important, like I'm totally serious guys, reason as to why she was flashing quite a lot of flesh. Well, it turns out, according to the game at least, that this was because she breathes through her skin and therefore the best option for her is to appear next to naked. Off camera though, it was because Hideo Kojima confirmed that it was because he wanted to see people cosplay as her. To each his own. However, it does make for some really strange costume choices in Metal Gear Solid 5. For example, you can effectively make her suffocate by forcing her to put on more clothes, but the strangest skin of all comes courtesy of the metallic gold and silver costumes, which quite literally dip her in liquid metal. So why is this such a crime against fashion? Well, for a start, as we saw in James Bond, painting a woman gold nearly suffocated the actress in question, but also because for a sniper who's meant to stay unseen, these shiny skins are a terrible choice. Number 5. Anna Williams' Octopus, Tekken Tag Tournament 2. When it comes to fighting games, there's an incredible amount of thought that goes into the combatants when they have to consider what gear to wear. Do you go for a protective headpiece and risk lowering the field of view? Do you wear any armor at all at the risk of being weighed down? Do you don an octopus and then kick the living hell out of your sister? I'm sorry, what was the last bit I just read? Yes, for some reason or another, Anna Williams from the Tekken franchise decided that the best outfit with which to wail on other foes was that inspired by an octopus. Outside of Yoshimitsu probably finding this very alluring, there's absolutely zero reason as to why Anna would wear this in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. If the tentacled headpiece wasn't enough, the look is completed with super high boots, tiny pants, and coverings that are all embossed with what one can only imagine to be suckers. It's an odd look that one can only try to explain as an experimental G Corporation battle suit. Now who am I kidding? It looks totally ridiculous. Number 4. Alien Invader Zack, Dead or Alive. It wouldn't be a list on WTF costumes without an appearance from everyone's favourite over-the-top fighter Zack from the Dead or Alive franchise. This man is louder than life itself and possesses kicks and costumes that make his opponent's eyes sore. Everything he wears is gaudy, from his ring shorts that shine bright like the sun to, well, you know where I'm going with this, a full-on alien suit complete with, well, let's just call it a floppy antenna. Now, in all honesty, the fashion police might actually have a hard time arresting Zack in this form, as not only does he possess the skills to kick 7 shades out of you, but also thanks to that aforementioned dome dangler, it's possibly so distracting that he might be able to get away as they remain transfixed. However, despite looking like a rejected extra from both Power Rangers and Teletubbies, Zack can afford to wear whatever he wants, seeing as he's clearly made enough to get his own private island twice. Number 3. Le Maid Francais, Deadpool. Listen, Paul, I love you, mate, but I never, ever wanted to see you in a sexy maid's outfit. Each part of this recipe works on paper pretty well. I mean, Nolan North is the voice of everyone's favourite merc with a mouth, Deadpool himself being the central star, and of course, the bizarre dream many of us have of ploughing those in our employ, or as it's known, doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger, should have worked wonders. However, when actually mixed together, you get this monstrosity. And I can't believe I'm saying this. The real reason that it doesn't work and that the fashion police would be busting down the door and arresting this unlockable costume is because Deadpool is wearing it over his regular uniform. The idea of seeing Wade's crispy wang flopping out of this maid's outfit likely won't appeal to all, but at least it would be a complete costume change, and that with his physique might have actually worked. However, this slapdash sexy look isn't doing anything for us. Love the enthusiasm, but next time, go full hog. Number 2. Stolen Swine, Vermintide 2. When it comes to Vermintide 2, there's not many laughs to be had. I mean, after all, the old world is on the brink of collapse thanks to the combined forces of Nurgle, Warhammer's god of plague, and the Skaven, rat men who like to pillage the entire planet, and the Beastmen who are just really huge, angry, and likely stink of goat droppings. From dawn until dusk, as one of the 5 heroes of the Hammer, you'll be slicing, dicing, and burning and crushing your way through endless hordes of these ferocious foes. So when it comes to costumes, you'd be right to solely focus on gear that offers you protection. Well, Victor Saltzpyre is not a normal adventurer. He's a witch hunter, and a passionate one at that, and for some reason, in what one can only assume is him taunting his enemies, you can choose to plop a dead pig on his head. It's one of the most bizarre bits of DLC in the game and offers nothing more than a comedic highlight, but you really can't escape how weird the visual is. Then again, when he can slice bacon off you at 30 paces, who's going to stop him? And number 1, a toilet, Saints Row 3. The Saints Row series has never been shy to let the player completely customize their appearance in wild and wonderful ways. And yet one of the most odd and somehow fitting skins that you can unlock for Saints Row 3 is Utter Toilet. And no, I don't mean that the costume is crappy, I mean that it's a literal toilet, which lets the player cause plentiful amounts of pain as a, hopefully not stained, porcelain bowl. In order to become the physical embodiment of a poo palace, players had to go to the community site and register in order to use a code that was sent to them to unlock this stinky skin. It may be utterly stupid and puerile, but you can't deny that it's not fun to obliterate the city as a walking and talking toilet. Still though, the fashion police are definitely going to try and lock you up now, seeing as your stinky fingers are all over those recent toxic Avenger crimes that have just been reported. And there we go, my friends. Those were 10 video game costumes the fashion police would arrest you for. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below, as well as any other choices you would have had, because who knows, I might do a commenters edition further down the line. If you want to chat to me further about all things to do with video games and anything else, you can do so over on Twitter at RetroJ0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice, my personal gaming channel, where I'm doing live streams every Wednesday and Sunday. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. We detailed today a lot about video game costumes that didn't quite cut the mustard, but you know what, my friend? There's something very, very important about being comfortable in our own skin. It can be very easy for people to be quite judgmental about what you wear, what you look like, or even how you present yourself in any other way. But you know what, my friend? That's your choice. It is your life to live, and don't let anyone else put you down because of it. If you want to dress the way you dress or act the way you act, then that's completely fine. As long as you're not hurting anyone, then why is it their problem? Because you're a massive ledge, and you deserve love, happiness, and success. Now go out there and crush it. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.